Heading outbound again on the Katy Freeway for those who may be ahead of where this vehicle is traveling. So started off there near Highway 6, but kind of moving west of that area at this point now. But again, at a slow speed on the freeway, which itself also poses a danger.
Seems like he is coming to a slower or stop. I tell you what, Catherine, and you can speak to this. We have pandemic traffic and we have also holiday traffic, which is very slim today.
Yeah, we're so thankful. I mean, at the very least, it is Christmas week, so we are seeing lighter traffic overall, but we are still, in the heart of the morning rush and seeing this car just weave slowly here across these freeway lanes of traffic, maybe now coming to a stop, it appears, or slowing down, but again, making those lane changes right there, again, going outbound on the freeway itself, on I-10 for a large part of this chase that we've been watching. They were off on the feeder roads and on side streets, but now right here on the Katy Freeway going outbound.
Well, we're going to wrap up our live coverage here, Catherine, because we have to toss to Good Morning America right after this newscast. But we're going to follow this police chase. We've got our helicopter up, and we will be live streaming it on our apps and abc13.com.
Katy Freeway for a short, brief period of time. And still not giving up. You know, you would think at this point, with all the officers behind him not being able to travel too far and then riding on the rim, that back tire of the driver's side, you can clearly see that the tire has been shredded and, riding on the wheel there.
It looked like the right rear tire was flat as well from that last vantage point with the helicopter.
It did appear on the other side that those tires were, having some issues as well. But clearly, the driver's side, the back tire, completely shredded, riding on the wheel. And his speed's obviously a lot slower. But like you mentioned, weaving back and forth just because probably doesn't have much control of a van like that.
Right. And at this point, sometimes people wonder why it takes so long, but sheriff's deputies have to keep in mind the protection of themselves, but also the public. So right now, we don't know the situation or the circumstances surrounding this police chase. We don't know why this driver is running. We don't know if the driver is armed. We've not heard that information yet, but they are keeping a safe distance from this particular van that appears to be slowing down significantly now.
He's missing two tires now. You can see that right rear tire also gone.
But then every time we say that he or she is slowing down, the person, tends to pick up speed. And here we are again with that van out of control, honestly. You just can't drive. Oh, my goodness, there it is.
There he goes.
Oh.
Yep. Oh. All right, you'll see the end of this.
You really have to hold your breath, but at least it stopped. And it looks a male driver with a red shirt
out of the van now running.
Oh, he's going to try and run.
And another person getting out. Looks like it's a female. Both jumping over the median there. Another scary situation. Two people, female and a male.
On the freeway.
Oh my gosh.
And you see police trying to
is he going to try and run
both of those suspects? But we see the red shirt. Keep an eye on the top of your screen there. That's the driver in the red shirt.
They got the female. Oh, and
well.
And those officers almost got hit as well, trying to stop that traffic on the freeway to make their way across.
It is just never.
Yeah, no words. We have a police helicopter up here. Now the Katy Freeway completely stopped outbound near Highway 6. Again, for anybody headed out this way, Highway 6 completely shut down now, so delays are going to start.
And this is Highway 6 just past, I-10 just past Highway 6?
That's correct, yeah. So westbound is going to be stopped near Highway 6. You can already, it's outbound, so that's probably the only good news, but we're already starting to see some delays. We've got Houston Police Helicopter up here with us. And inbound, obviously, we're starting to see some delays as well because of all of the police units out here. So we're definitely going to see quite a few delays. If you are headed out the door, again, we have the end of a police chase. A male and a female who jumped from that SUV. Pilot Samantha Fisher and I spotted this chase going on along the Katy Freeway near Highway 6. This is where it ended. And again, we're going to see delays start piling on because Highway 6 is shut down. The feeder road getting backed up as well.
Well, once again, this is the end of this police chase that started maybe 40 minutes ago on the west side of Houston. Our pilot and Tammy both saw this chase going on with sheriff's deputies behind him, and it wound its way around the west side until it came to this end now, and it looked as though one of those people fleeing police or fleeing the sheriff's deputies was hit by a car there. And it almost ended with one of the officers getting hit by a car on the Katy freeways. They tried to run across there and catch these suspects.
Such a terribly dangerous situation, just a horribly dangerous situation there. We saw that. There's the backup there on the freeway, but we saw this chase. I mean, you know, the driver going headed into incoming traffic, no lights on, very dark at times. Police and authorities actually following closely at some point, but also just backing off, trying to protect themselves, but also drivers around there. We did see what appeared to be the driver running across the freeway. We're not
in the red sweatshirt or red hoodie.
We're not sure if the driver was apprehended, potentially a passenger hurt in all of this. And we're trying to get the latest information that we can. We want to make sure also that officers are okay. This chase actually ending with two suspects running across the freeway and potentially a tragic end for one of them. So, of course, we are checking on all of this and trying to get the very latest details as they are coming in.
The driver got hit outbound,
the driver.
but the SUV stopped inbound. So, yeah, traffic is going to be stopped outbound. That's where the driver got hit. And to me, it looked like it was the female driver that got hit before we pulled out. And then there was a gentleman in a red sweatshirt.
Right.
That I didn't see if they got him into custody. You saw those officers chasing him. But it looked like it was the female that was hit by the vehicle.
And there you see the backup that's going to start on the Katy freeway there, where they have shut down all the outbound lanes just past Highway 6 this morning.
Yeah, just really, honestly, a tragic end to this.
And there's the feeder road, which is shut off as well as they investigate the scene where this van stopped. Looked like it was going to roll on its side, but then it smashed up against the feeder road wall there, and then the two people got out and started running right across the Katy freeway.
Yeah, so also remember the feeder road inbound is shut down as well, because that's where the SUV came to a stop hitting those trees, as you mentioned. So look at the backup here. That is inbound feeder road near Highway 6, completely shut down as well, because that's where the vehicle ended up. Now, there are a lot of slowdowns inbound on the main lanes, but the ones that are closed are outbound. All the main lanes closed, because that, sadly, is where one of the suspects was hit.
And we have to say, Tammy, that you are obviously staying away from where this all ended there for obvious reasons. We don't know if the gentleman in the red, what appeared to be a red hoodie, was captured or arrested or detained. But we are staying away from the end of that scene because someone was hit. One person possibly hit there near Barker Cypress there at the end of this police chase. But Tammy, if you can, I don't know if you're still near that area where the vehicle crashed. It appeared that vehicle may have crashed into some of the shrubbery, if you will, there off the highway.
Yeah, so they lost control on the feeder road heading inbound near Highway 6. Lost control, hit some trees, and then two people got out of that SUV. Officers immediately started following, were jumping those high walls. Just amazes me. All those officers were able to jump the high walls, and then sadly one of the suspects was hit by another vehicle. And then, you know, because I had to widen out so fast, I lost sight of the other suspect who was wearing a red hoodie. It appeared to be a male that got out of that vehicle. So we would have to hope that he was at least put into custody as well. But again, that's, you know, we'll widen out because sadly, I mean, and you just hold your breath because you just never know what's going to happen with these type of situations. There were so many near misses, and with the driver going into oncoming traffic and, you know, no headlights on, just, you know, you just hold your breath until it comes to an end.
And we have to think about the driver. the innocent driver who had nothing to do with this, that was also involved in this morning. You know, so we have to, our thoughts are with that driver this morning.
Yeah, who's going to think, you know, that you're on the Katy Freeway going speeds of, you know, 60, 65 miles per hour and then have somebody run out in the middle of you? I mean, just a scary situation for that driver as well.
Yeah, and you saw those police officers run out there trying to stop the traffic, but people going 65 miles an hour don't come to a stop very quickly. Yeah. And thankfully, I mean, as far as we know, none of the officers was injured. We hope that's the case. But again, one person was hit as they exited that van. They'd been fleeing police for, I guess, the better part of 45 minutes.
Yeah, well,
and then tried running across the freeway.
Yeah. So we are working on getting the very latest details. As we mentioned, we don't know why this police chase or this this chase started. Tammy, it's just, you guys were just in air and sort of hovering around, and you said your pilot Samantha actually saw this chase going as it was happening?
Yeah, well, actually, our desk alerted us that there might be a possible chase out this way, but we were getting ready to do a report, you know, at 6, I don't know if it was 6:45 or so, to do a regular traffic report, and pilot Samantha Fisher spotted all the flashing lights and the SUV, so we immediately turned our camera around and were able to spot the chase near Highway 6, getting on from Highway 6 to the Katy Freeway going inbound. So we followed this chase, you know, for, like an hour or so before it came to an end right where it started.
And I tell you what, the whole team can actually jump in on this one. You know, we cover these police chases all the time. And as you mentioned, Tammy, you sort of hold your breath because you just never know what's going to happen. I mean, over the years, you just never know how it's going to end. You hope and you pray that things will end well, but you just never know.
Yeah.
And in some instances,
so much going on up here too. You know, we're trying, and that's why we just love our Churchill navigation. We are unfortunately in our backup ship right now while the main ship gets some routine maintenance done. But we're so grateful for our Churchill because we're so busy up here. Yeah. We are able now to bring viewers the navigation part of it. So if we kind of get disoriented up here, we're able to turn on that Churchill, and you're able to see all the side streets. We do not have that technology in our backup ship, but it's so nice to be able to, you know, let our viewers know exactly where all the breaking news is unfolding beneath our eyes. And of course, we have other technology up there. We've got our speedometer where we can tell exactly how
far. This is the end of the police chase that happened near I-10 and Park 10, actually closer to Barker Cypress. But I want to show you up from Sky 13 what the view looks like right now. The inbound lanes of the feeder road of I-10, the Katy Freeway, shut down for that police investigation. Outbound freeway lanes, though, shut down as well, heading out toward the Katy area and out toward the Grand Parkway. So use those alternate routes like Westheimer Parkway, Park Row, or even the West Park Tollway. Alita.
All right, weather-wise for today, some low clouds and fog this morning. Already starting to see a little bit of improvements. Right now, temperatures in the 40s and 50s, going for highs in the upper 60s to low 70s with that southwest wind. Increasing clouds Tuesday, but we hold off on the wet weather with our next front until Wednesday. Looking gorgeous but chilly on Christmas morning.
Copy, standing by.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Jeff Ewan. Getting to our top stories again, a morning story we have been following since about 6:30, 6:45 this morning. The breaking news, of course, HPD confirming that a driver was shot. Well, excuse me, what you're seeing right now, the breaking news is the accident at the end of a chase on the Katy Freeway. You see all of the westbound lanes of the Katy Freeway are shut down. Fire trucks now blocking all of the lanes of the Katy Freeway as an investigation going into the end of a police chase that started at about 6:30, 6:45 this morning, Samika.
Yeah, and this is going to be a big investigation. That police chase, dangerous police chase.
Yes.
The driver headed the wrong way at some points. The driver
Part of the morning rush. Thankfully, it was a lighter traffic week, or it is a lighter traffic day, I should say, going into the Christmas holiday, but still plenty of traffic here along one of our city's busiest corridors, especially right here.
We have an update now a little bit, Catherine, if you don't mind us jumping in here. This is from the Sheriff's Department, a tweet that just got sent out, so that Harris County Sheriff's Office units were in pursuit of a vehicle. Once the car came to a stop, a total of 3 individuals fled from the scene. 2 males were quickly apprehended. Then a female, as we showed you this morning, ran into traffic and was struck by a private vehicle. This is near the 16,800 block of the Katy Freeway. And unfortunately, update now, the woman was pronounced dead at the scene. So this is a fatal accident as a result of a police chase that ended right there along the Katy Freeway and Highway 6, near Highway 6, and then 2 suspects running across the interstate, and one of them we now know not just a hit, but hit and killed.
Yeah, and that is the very latest information, and we were waiting on that information because once we saw that the female was hit, we had to zoom out for those purposes. But we do now, and we were wondering if the driver, the man seen in the red hoodie, was apprehended. We now know that he was apprehended. We did not initially see the third person.
That's right.
The third person being another male, a second male. We did not initially see that person, but we now know that there are 2 male suspects now in custody. That female suspect whom we saw running across the freeway there.
This was the end. Again, at this point, the van has lost both of its back tires. Don't know if the driver, again, was swerving to try to get onto the Katy Freeway. There's a barricade that would have prevented that. Maybe he just lost control. This is where the 2 suspects that we saw initially got out of the van. The driver, we believe, was in a red sweatshirt or hoodie. You see him there on foot. And then moments later, you see this second person getting out of the van. This was a female passenger in the van. And as we've said all along this morning, they managed to get all the way across the inbound lanes of the Katy Freeway, got to the HOV lanes or those hot lanes, managed to get across those. But at this point, even now, the drivers coming outbound have absolutely no idea what's about to happen. And unfortunately, one of those drivers struck and killed the female who was in this van being chased by Harris County Sheriff's deputies this morning.
And I have to be honest, I watched this video very closely just a few seconds ago as we were rolling it, watching for that third person potentially exiting the vehicle. I did not see. So there's potential that the third person stayed in the van.
It is possible. It does say that in the tweet from the Sheriff's Department that 3 people fled from the scene. So maybe while the officers were there's 6 officers at this point right now on the interstate during this chase. They all jumped over that barricade and ran across. So it's entirely possible that the third person, who now the Sheriff's Department tells us fled from the scene, might have been just waiting for a moment to get out of the van and run off as well, while all the attention was on the 2 people crossing the interstate. But even at this point, the driver had almost slowed down. He'd almost stopped, and then moments later sped up to, I guess, as fast as he could go with both back tires blown out. And just the speed caused the van probably to swerve and then fishtail, and then there they go off on foot.
And you may remember just throughout this chase, the driver slowed down, and we kept saying, well, maybe this is coming to an end. And then you would see the driver speed up again, and we thought there were spike strips put down at least at one point. And then the loss of both back tires, we certainly thought that the driver would slow down and then stop. And we saw the driver yet again speed up, but then lose control of the vehicle. And
you saw, which struck me just now as we're watching the end of this chase again, even after the 2 suspects have crossed over the barricade and are running across the freeway, traffic is continuing to go by. And the sheriff's deputies in pursuit, there's very, very close calls on the sheriff's deputies pursuing these suspects. And again, I know we're not going to show you the very end, but the end of it was just a horrific thing to look at. We don't have to put you through that this morning. Let's go out to Charlie Ezzity now.
Charlie, these suspects haven't been identified.